because of our time constraints, I wish that I could really express all that I'd like to in terms of responding to them. So I thought I would pose to you these questions, and perhaps it will pique your interest, and the Lord may anoint you with wisdom as to how you could answer them for yourselves. The first question, does music satisfy a longing in your heart that perhaps only the Father in heaven should satisfy? And number two, do you find that the meaning of your life and your identity is centered in Christ or in what you do? Or I should also say, in what you do along with Christ. There's a famous quote, probably one of the most famous philosophical quotes from St. Augustine, who said, "You have made us, Lord, for yourself, but our hearts are restless until they find our rest in you." I share this from my heart because of my own personal journey in faith, both as a musician, a singer, a teacher, family person. I've appreciated so hearing my colleagues talk about how all of life is connected. How Brian Edgett suggested that there is no secular and sacred. When we are in Christ, we bring all of life into Him. And so I'd like to suggest that as part of this first answer to does music satisfy a longing for you, there really is nothing of stuff. There is really nothing in this created world. There is no art. There is no human endeavor, pretty much, that will satisfy, because our hearts were made for a longing for the eternal. God has put within each of us a longing for Him, and only He can really satisfy that longing. Please don't misunderstand me. Yes, we are here. We are about music. We have gifts that have been implanted in us by the Creator God, and we don't underestimate the worth of that. And so we are about pursuing our excellence in all that we are to do, whether we are professors, whether we are students, whatever it is that we are doing, we pursue with excellence for today. But there's a very fine line, and I've discovered this in my own walk, there's a very fine line between pursuing the excellence in what we are about in developing our gifts and allowing ourselves to be consumed by these gifts. And so I just would like to say that, again, nothing can take the place of Father's love. Nothing will satisfy you but your longing for Him, which brings me to our next question, and that is the meaning of your life and your identity centered in what you do, or is it centered in your identity with Christ in allowing Him to be a part of what you do? You are of great worth. Your value is of supreme essence. Christ died and rose for you. He lives for you. And the scriptures do tell us that apart from Him, we can do nothing. We do live in a world that glorifies achievement, glorifies success, glorifies those who can do great things well. And that's good in and of themselves, it's okay. But when we take that and we separate that from Christ, because apart from Him, everything else in life is really futile. So I pray that not only for myself, but for you all here and for my colleagues, that we would have this truth of who we really are, knowledge of who we are in Christ, so that we can bring Him into what we do. And pray that we can experience what we do, whether it is music or whatever you may find 10 years from now, you may be in another career. We don't know what life brings, but in whatever that would be, that you would know a joy beyond expectation, a joy in music making beyond all expectation, and that will flow out of you. That joy in what you do, bringing Christ into what you do, will flow into all of life. Thank you.